Let's go. What's going on, crypto people? What? William Hinman is in trouble, baby. William Hinman is in trouble. I hope he saved that 15 million. Ledger and the government. I try to tell you. Fam. Ledger and the government. What in the world? John Deaton is on it. William Hinman returning back to the SEC as a civilian to push forward the lawsuit. Sacrificial lamb incoming. Sacrificial lamb incoming, baby. I don't know about that, Lemire Latson. I don't know. It would have to be a heck of a settlement for those emails not to get published. Heck of a settlement. Ripple's in the driver's seat. Life is good. Shout out to Hooks. Shout out to the XRP Ledger. Shout out to Evernode's Crypto Eddie is doing her thing. Hey, let me do this first. Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning. I apologize. My laptop was freaking broken yesterday. I couldn't do my live stream, weekly live streams on Sunday, looks like, until we get the business thing kind of under wraps. We got to increase the team a little bit to free up some time. We'll do that. So it'll be once a week on Sundays. We'll come to you live. It's kind of like a catch up on the weeks, days up to the week, I should say. So excited. So I said, you know what, I'm going to carve out some time to do something today since I couldn't hook up with you guys yesterday. A lot of crazy things going on. For sure. I don't know about this XRP $10 deal. What is that about? When does that happen? When is that happening? I'm ready. I'm prepared for it. I'll make room in the calendar for a $10 XRP. But when, though, as we like to say, what an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. We're going to get into a little bit. We're going to show Crypto Eddie's video about hooks. I love what she's doing, hooking up with the devs. I think Chris Dangerfield, don't correct me on this, but I think he is from BPM Wallet. But in any case, I thought he was from DEX5 Pro. But anyway, she's hooking up with the devs in the XRP Ledger, making sure that their voice is heard, which I think is really, really cool to focus on people building on the Ledger. Game changing. Look, ETH isn't, look, here's what I'll say. Bitcoin is technology, XRP is technology, Ethereum is technology, and may the better technology win because it's better for the end user. It doesn't mean that, listen, Yahoo is not going away because Google is superior. Burger King is not going away because McDonald's, quote unquote, is superior. You got to understand that. So may the better technology win because it's best for you and I as the end user. Walk away from the maxi mentalities. Just in fact, don't walk, run away from that. Bitcoin's not going anywhere unless the powerful entities that be decide that it's going to go away. Other than that, it ain't going away. Network adoption is massive. But make no mistake about it. If a certain entity in a certain country decides it's over, it's over. If they come to the conclusion that there will not be people rioting in the streets, if they come to that conclusion, it's over. But if they come to the conclusion that people will be rioting in the streets, they ain't doing it. They are not getting rid of Bitcoin. But the reality is, it's 1% maybe worldwide, 3% maybe in this country, maybe. Let me ask you this: is your neighbor going to be upset if Bitcoin goes away? I know my neighbor's not going to be upset. I talk to people every day, don't own any crypto, don't own any. So my guess is they won't be upset if Bitcoin goes away. But it's going to take a nation, entities, 3 alphabet groups and all that to make it go away. That's what it's going to take. But from what I understand, they're hedging their bets. They hold Bitcoin. They're hedging the bets. What's this new store of value thing? Is it going to win out? Is it going to grab market share versus gold? Oh, okay, this technology thing, is it going to, can it be something that will help us in the reset? So my opinion is they understand it's going to help them in the reset. And they're just buying time. That's all it is, buying time. Is the way I see it. So in the end, I don't think they're going to get rid of it. Just understand that if they wanted to, they 1000% could, without question. This ledger news is interesting. I try to tell people about the ledger. I try to tell people. I try to tell people about the ledger, thinking that their crypto is good because it's on the ledger. I try to tell people that's an illusion that the powers that be allow you to have so that there's not rioting on the streets. It's just an illusion. We live with that every day. Do you think this company, I think they're out of France. Is Ledger out of France, Switzerland, Netherlands, something like that? Do you think that this company just woke up in the morning and said, you know what? We're going to come up with a new service for your seed phrases. Do you think they just came up and woke up and just, yeah, this is what we're going to do now? You think that's what happened? We're just going to we're going to provide this service for you to back up your own seed phrase. No, not for you to back it up. So you can have some third party do it. Do you think they did that? Here's my thing. Someone reached out to them in the same way that someone reached out to Ripple back in 2000, whenever, knocked on their doors when they found out what they were doing. You know that, right? You know that some people, a group of people headed by a group of alphabet people, just showed up at the doors of Ripple. They just showed up, bro. They just showed up at the door and said, yeah, this is what's going to happen. And yeah, this is what's not going to happen. And so do you really, really think that the people at Ledger just woke up one morning and just decided to provide this service? You get one nation and its entities, make a phone call to another nation and its entities, and the other nation, it has no absolute courage to stand up to the other entity, make an arrangement, make a phone call and say this, we need to get this done. We need to reach out to this company called Ledger. Get the blessing and it's a done deal. They don't even need the blessing. It's a courtesy call. It's a courtesy call. And have this conversation. Reach out to the people at Ledger, say, this is what's going to happen, and yeah, this is what's not going to happen. That will be my guess. Is Ledger in a position to be fighting a nation's government and its three-letter alphabet group? Do you think Ledger is in a position to make that kind of fight? I would say probably not. Probably not. That would be my guess. So that would be what I would say happened. It's commonplace, happens all the time. All the time. That stuff happens all the time, fam. All the time it happens. All right, I'm gonna refresh CoinGecko here, make sure that's up to date. We're gonna go over the numbers because the market is just doing, you know, what the market does. Looks like it's down. Good night. So I just want to kind of give you a heads up. Just kind of, you know, look, we can no longer afford to be naive about what's really going on. Can't keep our head in the sand, right? If you're willing to look at the SEC gate, if you're willing to look at that and understand that JP Morgan and Ethereum came together with the likes of Alibaba, Alipay, whatever they are, came together and said, who is our common enemy? Who's the common enemy? Well, the common enemy would be Ripple. That's the common enemy. Who do we have in place that could slow down that monster? It's not that hard. When you got an EEA and you got Sullivan and Cromwell involved, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to come up with a plan. If you're willing to acknowledge that, right? You're willing to acknowledge that, you understand it. They involved a U.S. entity. They involved a U.S. entity. And that entity is supposed to be working on a level playing field without prejudice, biases. But they got to an employee or two. They got to an employee or two to do their bidding. That's what happened. And the investigation is going to happen with William Hinman. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Someone will pick it up. Look, Empire Oversight's not stopping. Someone's going to pick up the investigation and uncover what we already know. We already know is up, fam. We already know. They'll uncover it. He'll go to court. They'll do the thing. And he's not at the SEC anymore. So what are they going to really do to him? What are they going to really do to him? You know what I mean, Lemire? What are they going to really do? Let's go over these numbers real quick. We'll share it with you. What we got going on here? I got two things going on. Interesting. Let's do that. Let's go with the numbers. Check out the market. Oh, there she got the share screen. Because the market, again, is just doing what it does. Shout out to all my podcasters out there. Appreciate you hanging out. Do me a favor, come check out Crypto Siege on Twitter at crypto_CEEJ and on YouTube at the Crypto CEEJ, the Crypto Siege. I appreciate you hanging out. When you get on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. According to CoinGecko, shout out to CoinGecko, screw coin market cap. Screw coin market cap. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at 1.17 trillion. The Bitcoin dominance is at 44.4%. By the way, for everybody new to crypto, the total cryptocurrency market cap at one time in history was over $3 trillion. Over $3 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is at 44.4%, which means there is an alt season coming anytime soon. Bitcoin is trading at $26,931. Ethereum is trading at $1,824. And XRP is trading at 46 cents. That's the market, guys. It's just doing what it does. Sideways movement is sideways movement. However you wrap it up and put it on a bow, that's what it is. It's just sideways channel movement. That's all it is. I'm still expecting Bitcoin to go below 15,000, still expecting that to happen. That's just the market, man. It just does what it does. It just does what it does. Got the debt ceiling thing looming. What's going to happen with that? My years in the United States federal government says that they're going to just raise it. That's been my experience. They're just going to raise it. Too many vitally important organizations within the government, whether it be the DOG, DOJ, or the DOT especially. So we'll see how it goes with that. We'll get the word on it soon enough. Politics is at large, doing its thing. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So let me go with some Twitter stuff that I want to share with you guys. And I can't wait to share this John Deaton stuff because Deaton is on it. He's not letting go. Mark Phillips put this out from our guy at Coin Bureau. He's kind of like Selkie's, at least the way Ryan Selkie's was from Asari back in the day. Coin Bureau is still toting that thing. From Coin Bureau. Today, reference to Hinman speech emails. This is from Coin Bureau dude. Forget his name. The Hinman speech emails could help Ripple in its case, but could potentially hurt ETH in the process. This assumes there was some favoritism on the part of the SEC. This is likely just a conspiracy, says the Coin Bureau guy. Sad. It's very, very sad. Coin Bureau is incredibly biased, says Ashley Prosper, towards ETH and Bitcoin. And yes, Bitcoin, she says. And yes, I missed out the I on purpose. Ashley Prosper. There's a big difference, says John Deaton, between a conspiracy theory based on speculation and inferences made on top of that speculation and going through provable facts, using the actual comments and videos of the people involved, says John Deaton. If Coin Bureau is interested in facts, they know where to find you. They're not interested in facts. Vast majority of the digital asset space is holdings bias. Whatever thing they're holding it's a bias towards. Very, very few people understand that each of us need all of us, and all of us need each of us. And it includes in the XRP content creator community who are heavily biased towards the assets that they hold. Mark Phillips says 100 dead on, right? So there it is. I want to share that with you guys. Coin Bureau is still walking around with his head in the sand. But what can you do? What can you do? Some people just like that. It's comfortable there. It's comfortable there with your head in the sand. Whale Chart put this out. Breaking. Ledger confirms that the government can access your funds. I was going to retweet this. I was going to retweet this and say, you don't say. but I didn't. I guess I've been too busy. It is better to be in, get, my friend, Mr. Golden says the truth can hurt you, but it will never harm you. The truth can hurt, but it'll never harm you. So Red Bull Ranch put this out. I don't know if this was a tweet or if this was in a Discord. I don't know. But to play devil's advocate, says Red Bull and Ranch, if a subpoena was issued to Ledger or the second or the two third parties or to the two third parties by a government, could they use Recover to access the ledger without the customer hitting a button or knowing about it? The guy from Ledger, the co-founder, former CEO, former chairman, says if you are a Recover user and have your shard into safeguard by third parties, then yes, a government could subpoena them and get access to your funds. My guess is the Recover thing was a negotiation. Just my guess. I'm not in the know. It was a negotiation from the powers that be and Ledger. It's a negotiation. Because there are going to be people who pick this service. I know they got the people going to say, I'm not opting into such a thing. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter if you opt in or not. Eventually, it's going to be a thing. It's just a matter of time. You just have to live with the fact that a government can access your crypto anytime they want. Just gotta live with that fact. Just like the same fact that people in 1930s had to realize that one day they owned the thing with their hard, money, hard work and efforts. They owned the thing, and the next day they couldn't own the thing. It's kind of the way that is. It's kind of the way it operates. Best protection, in my humble opinion, is under the law. You want protection for your assets? Under the law. Get to that space. Figure out how to get to that space. Figure out how to lock arms with people who are operating under the law to protect your stuff. That's just about your best fight, in my opinion. That's why we got the three branches. It's there for a reason, fam. Mr. Huber put this out. Oh, and this is a quote from the people. I guess this is italic at the blockchain code as antitrust. All generally decentralized BlockFi infrastructures, such as that we have defined them, should benefit from various legal protections, whether in law enforcement or regulation. This is Vitalik Buterin and Thibault Schreppel in the blockchain code as antitrust. Wonder why they had to think about that. Wonder why you had to think about that back in 2020. That was my personal thing there. What's up with Stuart Alvarado? These kind of cryptic tweets. The Supreme Court's Andy Warhol lithograph case got attention last week. Did you know that in 1976, the SEC said that art lithographs, even when sold for investment, are not securities? When there are no post-sale contractual obligations from the seller. in favor of the buyer? These tweets is just, in my opinion, Ripple letting the SEC know we are prepared to go all the way to the Supreme Court. You better get your settlement act together. That's what that is. That's what that is to me. Figure it out. Eleanor Terry did this very, very nice interview with John Deaton. I'm not going to get into it. It's 50 minutes long, but I do want to share this tweet because I think this is important from John Deaton. Shout out to John Deaton. I like your haircut, bro. Like your haircut, my guy. John Deaton tweeted out, I remember Brad Garlinghouse or Stuart Alderati being interviewed and saying that they attempted to settle pre-suit with the SEC and were willing at that time in December of 2020 to settle without any declaration by the SEC that ongoing and future sales of XRP would not be considered securities. Wow. Yep. Yep. Take a listen to this little interview. I remember I watched this interview with Ellie Tarrant and Ben Armstrong. Take a listen to what she says from a source of a source. Take a listen.
Have you heard anything about a potential settlement that was maybe broached or anything buzz around that?
I did hear something yesterday, and I'm not going to say the source, obviously, but
what a coincidence.
It was. I never tell my sources, but it was from it was a source of a source. So this person told me that they had heard that that Jay Clayton, actually, when the Ripple case was brought in December 2020, Jay Clayton had been in favor of settling pretty much right off the bat. But that Bill Hinman had been driving it home.
Let's read that. Let's read that thing. Let's read this. As soon as that shows up, let's read from
been driving it home saying, no, we're going to carry on with this case. I heard Clayton was in favor.
Hold on. All right. Can I get?
But that Bill Hinman.
Oh my God, my laptop. What's going on here? All right.
But that Bill.
All right. So a couple more standouts. Friday, November 20th, 2020 at 10:45. William Hinman had a scheduled call with Valerie Japanik. The entry is titled Vow to Call Bill Reference XRP. Monday, December 7th, 2020, a month later, William Hinman had a scheduled meeting with Ripple counsel and Christina Littman. December 7th of 2020. So keep that in mind.
But that Bill Hinman had been driving it home saying, no, we're going to carry on with this case. I heard Clayton was in favor of settling. Bill Hinman was not. I don't know if that's true. But that's what I heard yesterday, just in answer to your question.
Right? Clayton, now, doesn't it make sense to you? Clayton would be willing to settle, right? He feels like he's done his part. Let's settle, whatever that's going to look like. Hinman wants to push the lawsuit through. Why? Because the lawsuit creates a cloud on title for the company Ripple, for the CEOs, for the asset XRP. Cloud on title. That's a legal term. And what it does is it damages the entities involved. It's body blows to the entities involved. It slows them down. It attempts to slow them down so that others can catch up and, grab market share potentially if they can. But ultimately, the people like Sullivan Cromwell know the damages that it can create. That's why he pushed through. That's why. John Deaton says, but why is Hinman meeting with Ripple on December 10th when he was no longer an employee at the SEC? His last day was December the 4th. Bill Hinman is a civilian working for a law firm or on his way to this law firm, but he is no longer employed at the U.S. government entity that is the SEC. Why is he meeting with Ripple after he's no longer at the SEC? You got to ask yourself about that. Who is he? He was a private citizen, according to John Deaton, working for an EEA law firm, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, Ethereum, whatever it's called. Anyone who doesn't acknowledge that Hinman has an agenda is being ignorant. Anyone arguing that. It's right there. Anybody who is willing to be open-minded, well, look, Charles Hoskinson is not willing to be open-minded. Ryan Selkes is at least willing to be open-minded. Coin Bureau dude, he might not know all this stuff yet. We'll see if he's interested in the truth or is he just interested in his bags. It's bottom line. We'll find out. Is that it? So looks like that is it. Clayton wanted to settle. William Hinman, who's, director of enforcement, says, nah, let's continue going on with this. John Deaton says, in other words, Ripple would pay a fine and settle and would accept moving forward with the status quo, it being unclear whether the SEC would go after selling XRP. Ripple was willing to do that. No clarity. Not the best deal for Ripple. It would limit growth in the United States for sure. If Ellie's source is correct and Hinman killed the deal, then it is more evidence that the conflicts were much more than an appearance of impropriety, but actual impropriety. The fact that Hinman's last day was December the 4th of 2020 and that he returned as a private citizen to the SEC while he was heading back to Simpson Thacher, which is a member of the EEA, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, or the other way around, the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, which exclusively the EEA exclusively promotes ETH to influence the settlement discussions with Ripple is criminal. John Deaton says, I am more confident than ever that we will get the investigation after the midterms. Even the most ardent Ripple haters should be outraged. Clayton, as chairman, now remember, this lawsuit, whether you want to believe it or not, is affecting the entire, it gave Gensler the opportunity to do his enforcement action deal. And that whole thing. Clayton, as chairman, is a disgrace for allowing this under his watch. At some point, Hester Peirce won't be able to say she can't comment. It's the truth right there, family. That is the raw, real deal life thing there. You got a bunch of companies and lawyers coming together creating this Ethereum Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. They have interests. They have vested interests. They put their dollars into a thing and they're trying to protect it by any, we used to say hook or crook, right? By any means necessary. That is the reality of the world that we live in. Just ask Jamie Dimon. He He could write a essay. He could write a 1,000-page essay on that kind of stuff. That's the world we live in. And it's up to, good people to expose it. It's up, where's my thing? It's up to good people to expose that. Billionaire Faith is in the building. What's going on? What are you saying here? What's going on right now? Billionaire Faith says XRP, XDC, Stellar Lumens, Quant, and Electronium. Whoa, that's heavy right there, bro. The chosen five. I hear you, my guy. Colin Hughes is in the building. What's going on, bro? Good to see you. Winston P. Prescott is in the building. How are you, fam? Colin Hughes says, could there be a settlement before the emails are released, Siege? Yes, 1,000%. Sure can. My thing is, why would they? Billionaire Faith, miss you too. My thing is, why would they? Ripple, I'm talking Ripple now. Life is good, Winston. What up with you? The thing is this, look, Ripple's in the driver's seat without question, but it's still a roll of the dice in terms of the summary judgment. That's still a roll of the dice. In my opinion, Ripple is deciding whether or not or negotiating if the settlement will check, 8 out of 10 boxes for them. If the settlement is going to check 8 out of 10 boxes, they'll take it. If, however, that settlement is around 6 out of the 10 boxes, 7 out of the 10 boxes, they're not settling. They'll take their chances of summary judgment. And it's up to the SEC. The SEC is deciding and it's Gary Gensler now. Gary Gensler saying, are these Hinman emails going to allow me to continue my political pursuit or not? If he feels as though he can still continue to pursue his political agenda, personal, then he's not going to allow Ripple to get to 8 boxes being checked. He ain't going to do it. But if he thinks that these Hinman emails will damage his chances of continuing his enforcement action pursuit so that he can check his own personal boxes and his resume for Secretary of the Treasury, then he won't do it. He'll settle. That's the bottom line. It's not going to, however, stop the investigation of William Hinman. But Gary Gensler has an out there. He's like, that wasn't under my watch. William Hinman is on his own. Clayton already has his out, really, because he tried to push for a settlement. So when I say an out, he can say, I did try to push for the settlement, but the director of enforcement wanted to pursue it. Now, is it still ultimately on Clayton? Some would make that argument, sure. He can always say, I made a judgment call and I was wrong. Clayton can say that. William Hinman can't. I hope he saves some of that 15 million. He's not going to prison, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to prison. I don't think he's spending a day in prison. But we'll see. William P. Prescott says they could write their own settlement. Well, 100%. What do you think of Sam's World coin worth the iris scan? I heard about this World coin thing, and I'd say, nope. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. But that's kind of where I am on that, guys. That's kind of, look, Ledger is what it is. I don't have anything on the Ledger, right? It is what it is. I'm not trusting it. William Hinman, investigation incoming. Look, I don't know if he spent the 15 million. I hope he spent it wisely, but I personally hope he saved it. Investigation coming. Empire Oversight has no horse in the race. They're wanting to expose the truth. They want the truth. If there's impropriety, if there's a nation's three government agency like the SEC doing things that they should not do, they want to expose it. They're not. Why would they let up? Why would Empire Oversight let up until there's an investigation? They ain't letting up. So it doesn't matter if this Hinman emails from the court. That don't matter. It's going to be Empire Oversight is going to do their thing. They're going to keep doing their thing to expose the truth. Everybody knows about these emails. They are eventually going to be seen, in my humble opinion. Bottom line is, Alibaba, in my opinion, can't forget that, our enemy has a payments platform that's massive. We can't ignore it. That's the reality. That's the reality. And then the other reality is Jamie Dimon and I don't even remember his name, the other guy. Jamie, who's Vitalik Buterin, and who's the other Ethereum guy? I can't even remember his name now. But look, those guys have a common enemy. Bottom line. Ethereum thought they could get into payments. Right? So it's a common enemy. And it's Ripple. It's the digital asset XRP. It's the blockchain XRPL. It's common enemy. So they came together. Bottom line, William Hinman and Clayton already have been doing the works of the nation who is not our friend. Starts with the C, ends with the A. There it is. Thank you, Joseph Lubin. Thank you. Common, it's right there. So simple. It's common enemy. And Joseph Lubin sacrificed. It could care less about anything going on and in decentralization. He could care less about decentralization and a level playing field. He don't care. He was a struggling CEO and he's trying to get his, period. That's it. Just like Jamie Dimon. That's why they hooked up together. They don't care about this whole inclusion thing. Joseph Lubin don't care about inclusion and a level playing field and breakthrough technology. Don't care. He don't care. So it's kind of where I stand there. There it is. Shout out to John Deaton. Crypto Eddie was doing this interview here with some XRPL. Let me share this so you guys can check this video out. XRPL developers. You should really check this video out, guys. You got some people from Evernodes here. And I believe Chris is from BPM Wallet, but don't quote me on that. XRP Rising, the new Codius hooks and Evernote smart contracts to challenge Ethereum and ignite a new era on the XRPL ledger. Hopefully, the entertaining content creators in this community will open their eyes and realize the awesome powerfulness of the developers building and the projects building on the XRPL. That is the difference. Ripple is one company utilizing XRP and XRPL ledger. One. We need many. Ethereum is massive because there are many people not just the Ethereum Foundation, many people leveraging Ethereum. That's what you want. So hopefully these grown men will figure that out. Hopefully, I don't know, someday, hopefully. But shout out to Mickey B. Fresh and Crypto Eddie who understand. Solomon, who understand. Darren Moore, who understand. Jungle Inc., who understand. Hopefully, the entertainers, hopefully the Good Old Boy Network will just open up their eyes and realize that we need lots of projects building on that ledger. That will make the difference. Breakthrough technology from XRPL Labs with the hooks, other people leveraging in it, that's the game changer. And in my opinion, when that automated market maker gets live, right, the hooks, right, everything gets working, game changer. You're going to watch the TVL and the DeFi space shift. In my opinion, it's going to shift to the XRPL. In my opinion, without question. Because there is, look, that AMM is game changing. Projects are going to see less than a penny transactions. They're going to see secure. They're going to see stable. They're going to see fast as heck. And the end user ultimately is interested in two things: fast and cheap. We all, I mean, the UI and the UX, that goes without saying. Of course, they're going to want UI and UX to be next level. But fast and cheap, that's the cherry on the top, baby. You give me something fast and inexpensive, I'm telling you, TVL is going to shift. In my opinion, TVL is going to shift. This new era, I love that phrase, new era on the XRPL. That's where it is, fam. That is where it is. Look, may the better technology win. I keep trying to tell the entertainers in the content creator space, it's technology. You know, got to raise the game. Doesn't mean that things are going to go away. There's always going to be a Yahoo to a Google, and there's always going to be a Burger King to a McDonald's, always. And then you got Bing. Don't you have Bing? Of course you got Bing. And don't you have freaking Wendy's? Of course you got Wendy's. May the better technology win, baby. That's how it is. That's how it is. And a lot of times people just have a good run, and then it comes to an end. Blockbuster had a good run, and then it came to an end. It's just the way it goes, baby. It's just the way that it goes. But in the end, we want something that's best for the end user. The XRP ledger moving anything of value in 3 to 5 seconds for less than a penny. It's hard to come up with this. It's hard to come up with another thing. Can you beat that? If something comes around and can beat that, isn't that better for you and I? Anything of value, tokenization, anything of value in 3 to 5 seconds for less than a penny. How are you going to tell me what you're going to do? How are you going to beat that? 1 second for less than a penny? Okay, cool. But I'm good with 3 to 5 seconds or less than a penny. Aren't you? When you consider the fees of Ethereum, when you consider the fees on Bitcoin network, of course. What does that do? It challenges the Bitcoin people to get something going on that's better. What does that do? It challenges the people over to Ethereum to get something better. That's what we want. What we don't want is for Bitcoin to go away and for Ethereum to go away, and we only have one choice. That's what we don't want. Why? Because then the powers that be can come together with another Operation Choke Point and only have to deal with one thing. That's why. So run away from the content creators who would have you, who would call for the demise of Ethereum and Bitcoin. Just run away. Fast forward that part of it. Fast forward that part of the video until they start talking sense. Then just tune back in. Fast forward past the nonsense and then tune back in. That would be my best advice. All right, crypto fam. I've gone long enough. I don't use corium. Beer in the faith, I don't use corium. No, he's not going to, I don't believe he's going to go to prison, Colin. I don't. The truth will get exposed, but that's about it. Yes, Mr. XRP, what's going on, bro? Jamie Dimon owns MetaMask, right? So you got MetaMask, you got Infura. I mean, look, this is all, you know. Look, Joseph Lumen said, oh, yeah, okay. And Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson said, nah. It's the bottom line. When you got 15 people showing up from freaking JP Morgan, showing up at the door, Brad and Chris was like, yeah, I'm not, where am I at? I'm not good with that. And Joseph Lubin was, yeah, sure. Sounds like a good deal to me. You're one of the most powerful people in the history of the world. I'm good with connecting with you, partnering up. It's bottom line. But make no mistake about it, they knocked on the doors of Ripple first. What do you think they came together? 15 people at the doors at Ripple, in the offices of Ripple for a kumbaya moment? Nah. That was about, give us some of that. Whether it be XRP, whether it be partnership, whether it be shares, whatever, give us some of that. Ripple, the CEO and the chairman, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson was like, nah, we're good. We'll take our chances. Joseph Bloom was like, but why? Because he's not a real CEO anyway. You see what he just tried to do to the shareholders and got busted? He's not a real CEO. Authenticity. Right? He's just not. He's dude interested in his own personal profits. That's it. And would sacrifice anyone and everyone for his own personal profit. We got that going on in the current administration. Sacrificing country over personal profits. That's not a good look. All right, guys, I got to wrap it up here. I got to head out. It's been a real cool hang. Keyless is in the building. The lady of crypto checked in. Good to see you. Guys, make sure you catch that replay. Catch it from the beginning. Don't be sad about Ledger and the government. Don't be sad. What is there to be sad about? Your eyes have been, your eyes have been open to the truth. Right? Keyless, I was just telling them. If people will show up at the door at Ripple, we understand that, these government agencies showed up at the door at Ripple. What makes you think they're not going to show up at the door at Ledger? I mean, like, what world do we live in that we don't think that's possible? That's kind of the way it is. It's just the way it is, guys. Just the way it is. Ripple's still around after the people showed up at their door. Ledger's going to be around. Ripple came to an agreement, and so did Ledger. Recover service. What? That's an agreement right there. In my humble opinion, that's an agreement. And if you think you're good by not opting in, cool. I mean, you want to sleep better at night because you didn't opt in, cool. The only protection at best that we have is under the law. At best. There's the three branches is there for a reason. Like they're there for a reason. We got attorneys screaming from the rooftop that your Fourth Amendment right have been breached. And no one's paying attention to that. There's like, they just hopping on CoinGecko to see what the price of Bitcoin is. Your Fourth Amendment right has been breached and no one's paying attention to it. I can tell you who is. People in Texas. The people in Texas are paying attention. I can tell you that. Maybe Ron DeSantis is, maybe, yeah. But the people in Texas, they're paying attention to the Fourth Amendment right that has been breached. I promise you that. Look it up, fam. Understand what it is and seek protection. Seek protection. You got states banning CBDCs. Are you in one of those states? I'm not telling you where to live, but are you in one of those states? That's a level of protection. Banning CBD, that's a level of protection of your privacy. Right? Fourth Amendment rights breached. The awesome attorney Jeremy Hogan said, look to the Fifth Amendment, see what's going on with your state. I believe he said the Fifth. See what your state got going on. See what your state has going on because your Fourth Amendment rights have been breached. Hila says, Siege, thank you for keeping on the message and driving it home. Has to be said over and over. People, all of us, we don't pay attention. Yeah, you got to keep driving home. That's why we're here. It's not the end of the world. You just got to be informed. You got to be in the know. Hold on 1 second, guys. Got to be in the know. Just got to be in the know. That's all. Just got to be in the know. Needless, thank you so much for checking in. Michael Marchese is in the building. Appreciate you being here, Michael. Oh, what is that about? What's that about? Colin Hughes, billionaire, Faith, checked in. It's good to see you, Miss. Mr. XRPL, all in, FPS 420. Mr. I said that already. Billionaire Faith, FC 420. Winston P. Prescott, appreciate you being here, my guy. Who else? And Lamia Lawson. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. If you didn't do so, be sure to do so on the way out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one. Let's see. Like I do all of my videos. Let's do this. And remind you guys of this. That's the wrong video. I want to remind you guys of this.
Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it.
I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.